Yo, what is going on, everyone? So today we're gonna take a look at LKCO stock, Luokung Technology Corp. See what is going on. So for the past few days, actually, Luokung was not looking too well. It was downtreading pretty much, and it hit as low as around this area. Looks like 88 cents, give or take, pretty much sub 90. And now, opening up today, we can see that we are currently at $1.26. And then at the high point, at least right now, was about like 137, give or take. And for the most part, for the last few days, I'd say we were trading sideways around like the $1.85, give or take mark. And pretty much there's a lot of anticipation for LKCO because of them potentially being delisted. So at least currently right now when I'm filming, there isn't any official confirmation yet. There's still supposedly the dates are in May. So when you're watching this today right now, there's still some more time, but I'll definitely share with you my own thoughts and what I think is going to potentially happen, and then talk about the worst cases and best case scenarios after that. And remember, this video is for entertainment purposes only. This is not financial advice. Be sure to do your research before making any investments. So let's just look really quick. This is the 1 hour chart. So it's very short term, but technically based off the dates we pretty much have. And let's see, right? I'll move over to May. And it seems like May 8th, to my knowledge, at least right now. Can't get exactly on May 8th. But within this zone right here is pretty much I'd say the anticipation, the time frame that we have to take a look at. Because depending on what happens after the announcements or whatever confirmation occurs, then we could see LKCO skyrockets, or we could see a massive sell-off and it's over. But for now, let's just look right now what happens. So right now you can see that the price did increase quite a bit. Now if you're looking at this from like just a little candlesticks and some chart overview, it doesn't look like that big of an increase. But I mean, if you're comparing this from like the low point here, so I'm gonna go at this point around like 90 cents just to make it even, or 89, give or take. And then we can see at the high point at 37, that's a 53+% increase. Like, that's a humongous increase for a very short period of time. So if you have a significant investment in LKCO, that would have been a huge ROI. You could have made a simple trade in literally a couple days, right? Now, one thing to factor, because some people might say, oh, it's spiking up, we're going to trend upwards again. But the main thing is, too, the overall market was pretty much red for the past week, right? So everything, not just LKCO, but almost all the stocks were red. And we can see here at our current recent high point up here around 223. Basically, this looks like beginning or like near the end of March. Pretty much downtraded below the 50 MA for the most part. And then all of a sudden, this market for Monday, at least today, every stock it seems like has opened up in the green, at least currently. Some are selling off now, but seems like we have a green day today. So for seeing LKCO to spike up, I would say I'm not too surprised, right? That's because all the other stocks are also up too. Now, looking at this on the 1 hour chart, the RSI is significantly in the area that could indicate that it's overbought. But this is also 1 hour, so it's it's short term. If you switch this to like maybe the 4 hour chart, you'll have a little different view. But we still have some more space here. But that's a more longer term time span. But since we're only looking for the next like week or two, I'm just gonna switch to the closer view, so the 1 hour. And at least right now, what I think is gonna happen. So at this moment, obviously we can look at support resistance levels, but the biggest factor is the announcements, aka the big quote you probably heard someone say, buy the rumor, sell the news. Because what I think most likely is going to happen, and again, I could be 100% wrong, but a lot of people are going to buy in thinking that they are going to get saved, they're not going to get delisted, whatever the reason is, aka they're buying the rumor. Now, regardless, some people don't care if it stays on or not. They're going to buy into the hype, assuming that this were to surge because of the news. And then the minutes, the day or whatever, day before, they might take profits. Next you know, we have a sell-off, right? Usually what I've seen for most things that have big news. Now, obviously, there are like hardcore LKCO holders who actually believe long-term in the company. And at that point, if it doesn't get delisted, they're probably just going to be holding it for the, however long they want, the multiple years if so. And then it doesn't really matter what short-term is. But at least right now, I can see this. If the news were to continue, more people start noticing that, hey, this has a big event essentially coming up, that we could see it go back and start testing the high points we have here, right? Now, is it going to do that right now? Again, we still have to get more confirmation, but I wouldn't be surprised to see a decent surge in price in the short term. Maybe it could increase up to this price points. But at least if we could get to above 150, that's a nice even number. If we get above that, then that's definitely a good measure. And then reaching again, I'd say $2 is another huge milestone that I'd like to see. But that could be just because of the anticipation. People are going to load up on the shares, and then a lot are going to take profits. Because if some people got in below $1 and it goes up to 150 or even 2, they've basically doubled their money already, and a lot of people could care less what happens to LKCO, and they just take profits and then they go on to the next stock, right? So definitely be aware of that. That is a big factor, especially if you buy into the hype and then it sells off. You could lose a lot. But also the other scenario is let's say this does surge up back to the high points, and then we get the notification that gets delisted. So if that's the case, I would not be surprised seeing this just sell off like crazy, surpassing this low point here, and could even go even lower and lower towards, sub 50. Next thing you know it, after that, I mean, there's really whoever wants to sell and buy those price points, right? So if it doesn't end up well for LKCO, just expect the price to take a lot, right? That's what I'm predicting. Now, again, it's like a 50-50 thing. If you are even considering this is something I'd say is super high risk, and that be prepared to lose everything if you're not sure, because this is something that's not like a company in the early stages, right? Because this is dependent based off pretty much whether or not the news comes out good or bad. So again, we'll have to wait and see, but I'm predicting that this could potentially increase based off the news, people buying the rumor, and then depending on what price point it decides to hit. Again, also this week depends how the market it performs, right? Today is a decent day. A lot of things are green, so I'm not expecting too much. It's probably just going to trade sideways for a bit. But in the next few days, if the market starts turning red again, everything sells off, then yeah, we could dip below back and form some support around the 50 MA again. But at least right now, looking at it, we are above the 50 MA, so currently that's a good sign on the 1 hour chart at least. So we'll have to wait and see. But just looking overview of LKCO, here's the current price, and market cap's not crazy, right? It's only 400 plus mil at this price point. It was even lower at $1 or sub $1 price. So whenever I look at companies, I like to see what the market cap is to give a general overview on the potential, assuming that this does not get delisted and that they actually start performing and producing high quality things, right? So a lot of companies I've seen, their market caps are like in the 5, maybe 10 bills, and they're at a small price point. So at that point, the chance of it going up much is like, it's very minimum, because to reach like a 100 bill market cap or even more, when you're at like a 10 bill market cap, that's basically only a 10x, and that's significantly harder unless you're in a industry that's brand new and there's so much room for growth to even reach 100 billion worth of market cap. Here again, there's still potential, because if this were to just reach 1 bill, you're looking at a little 2+x, and then after that it just compounds. So again, this is just a overview on it, and we'll have to wait. Again, the biggest factor is the news. If the news does not pan out well, LKCO is going to most likely take a humongous dip, and it's not going to be fun for a lot of people. And this article was posted way back. I already talked about this, but pretty much this was the day, they say May 8th. And apparently there's dates before this time frame that they're going to, send in some more information that I've heard. Feel free to check out the Reddit to see more details on that. But for the most part, before May 8th, it seems like we're going to see probably a lot of volatility, and then hopefully if they post anything prior to that, that's going to be good for them. But until then, we're just going to wait for more updates. So definitely let me know if you find any interesting things in the meantime, and then also comment down below what do you think is going to happen at LKCO if it does remain on exchanges, and then also if it gets delisted, what do you think is going to happen? It's going to go pretty much to zero. Comment down below your thoughts, and also be sure to smash the subscribe button, like the video, share this with your friends, and I'll see you in the next one.